Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. However this reaches you, whenever this reaches you. I go by the name Big Papita. This channel is Big Papita 396. I'm not a union representative. I want to make that clear. I'm a member just like you. Yesterday we went over general rules. We're going to continue to go over the general rules. And I have to make something clear. Yesterday when I spoke about it is so many general rules that it's ridiculous. But yesterday when I spoke about, I misspoke and I had to clear something up. I misspoke when it came to, we gotta wait for that. I gotta let them, you guys are getting it raw, man. You guys are getting it live from the truck. Daily paperwork, okay, 2.6 in the what is this? The waste management rule book. No, I'm sorry, 2.7 in route conditions. It says always check the comment section of the route sheets for routing issues. I misread that. I said that because we don't have route sheets, I don't know how this applies. Maybe you go to, I misunderstood it. What it's saying is that usually there's a comment section when you especially like commercial or roll off. There's a comment section that you could go to when you go to details. You hit details and you read the comments. Usually that lets you know, hey, the customer is open between this time to that time. Are you sure you want to service this customer between this? You know, when you hit start on and you begin service on a customer, there's comments. It might be something like, hey, be careful, watch the wires, watch this, watch that. Those little details help the driver service the customer properly or possibly avoid any issues. It is saying that you're supposed to check those details when you get to the customer. Now, if you work in a city like, I believe we have a city where, like Long Beach, where I think it's one stop and you hit start and then you hit stop. It's not like you hit 1,000 houses. So, in something like that, I don't know how you would go about that, but that's what this book means. It means that you're supposed to check those details when you when you get to the route, whatever, and you have like stops and there's a detail bar, even on a tablet, even though you don't have a route sheet, you're supposed to check those details according to the rules. Now, I believe we stopped off at vehicle gauges. Yeah, we stopped at vehicle gauges. Okay, it says driving to the route, visibility for the driver. Always keep a field of vision high on the horizon to prepare for upcoming traffic and problems. Look ahead. Down the road to identify hazards early. There must be a minimum of 12 to 15 seconds eye lead time. Always scan mirrors and monitors every 3 to 5 seconds. The purpose for scanning continuously is to check mirrors/monitors for vehicles and pedestrians moving in and out of blind spots. 4.2, maintaining space. Must adjust the speed accordingly to maintain a safety cushion. Always maintain a safe distance between the truck and other vehicles on all sides of the truck. Always have an escape route in case circumstances require a quick defensive response. Always work to keep at least the front and one side of the area around the truck open. So, in other words, the truck has a circle. Just imagine you have a truck, and whatever truck that you operate, imagine that it has a circle around it, this is why they always preach hard about maintaining a 4 second, like a 4 second barrier between you and a truck or car in front of you, because you need enough space to stop. You need enough space to kind of get out of a situation where if something happens fast, you could get out of it. So just beware that these are all inside of the general rules. Safe following distance. Always maintain a safe following distance between the truck and the rear of the vehicle in front. Yeah, always maintain a safe following distance between the truck and the rear of the vehicle in front. Always watch for sudden stops. People that may cut you off and they're kind of distracted. Beware. Ensure the truck is seen. Always drive with the truck's headlights on. Always use proper turn signals to communicate actions. Okay. Safe driving requirements. Do not exceed posted speed limits. Beware of those speed limits, especially around schools, because sometimes even when children aren't in school, it'll say like when children or pedestrians are present. So be careful. Safe driving. Okay. Posted school zone limits. Current road conditions, which means like rain or whatever situation that it may, where you have to adjust your driving. Weather, visibility, construction zones. Maintain a safe following distance and safety cushion. These are the things that they coach us on when we have these little events with the camera, the third eye camera. They check these things because it's inside of the rule book. Lane changes. Avoid unnecessary lane changes. Only change lanes when it is safe to do so and there's enough space. Take quick glances through the West Coast mirrors to ensure it is safe to change lanes. Always signal the intention to change lanes well in advance. Adjust the speed to the flow of traffic. 4.3.3. Merging into traffic. Do not force a truck into traffic when merging. Take quick glances through the West Coast mirrors to ensure it is safe to merge into the moving lane of traffic. Always signal the intention to merge well in advance. Adjust the speed to the flow of traffic. Ensure the vehicle in front of the truck clears the expressway entrance before accelerating. Avoid stopping when in the acceleration lane. In heavy traffic, it may be safer to drive straight ahead onto the shoulder and wait for a gap to open in the traffic instead of stopping in the acceleration lane. Blind spots. Ensure all mirrors, cameras, and monitors are working properly. Like it always says, scan your mirrors and monitors every 3 to 5 seconds. Truck clearances. Driver must know the height and width of their truck. If a driver does not know the height and width of the vehicle, ask a route manager. So usually in a truck, right? Not in this particular one, but usually there's like a sticker where my hand is, pretty much that upper left corner of the windshield, that would give you an indicator of what the height of the truck is when the forks are up. So as a commercial driver, as a whatever line of business that you're in, you have to know that height. Sometimes we have those CNG tanks that are on top. You have to keep those in mind as well. And you might go, I've seen drivers damage those CNG tanks on a residential route because a tree branch was low and they weren't quite paying attention, and the tree branch made contact with the CNG tank. So keep in mind the height of your truck. It does matter. It's not just bridges. It could be anything that's regarding clearance. The height of a truck, the width of a truck. Also, like, know how wide your truck is. Some of these rear loaders are operating in alleys that are so tight that literally they're being cleared by millimeters on a they're being cleared by like millimeters. The lug nuts and the pole is like tight. They're barely getting by, but you have to know this because in the event your lug nuts get jammed or they run into something, these are going to be some of the things that they bring up. They're going to bring up, hey man, you should have knew your truck. Yeah, so know the clearance, know the height of your truck, know the width of your truck, down to the lug nuts. Very important. And it says, when in doubt, get out and check it out. Driver must ensure their truck will clear overhead or other fixed objects. Negotiating curves and turns. Reduce the speed to this is the drop 10 rule. Drop 10 before you get in or before you go in. You know, when you're approaching a exit or you're approaching something where you have to do this turn, you want to drop your speed down to a minimum of 10 miles per hour because a roll-off can happen. You can lose the center of gravity and it could be really, really bad. It could even be fatal. So keep in mind that you drop 10 before you get in. Limiting distractions. Drivers and helpers must not engage in any activities other than driving or operating controls of the vehicles. This includes no eating or drinking, no use of cell phones. Limiting distractions, no playing loud music or using headphones with iPods, MP3 players, or any other personal listening devices. This includes helpers on riding steps. So they want you fully alert, fully aware, not distracted by any loud music that could interfere with you properly operating the truck. So that is a part of the rule book. It says keeping the volume of company communication systems at a level where it does not interfere with the safe operations of the truck. No reading while driving, i.e. route sheets, tickets, and or other district materials. So you get a message on the tablet, something pops up, your attention goes from off of this whatever you're doing to this, but the truck is still in motion. You're all over here and the camera catches you. That's how they get you. They get you because you're distracted by something. So it could be they're not going to give you a pass because you're reading a route sheet or you're reading something. Remember to stop the truck. Just keep the trucks at a stop and then handle whatever business you need to handle. Once that's handled with the tablet or route sheet, vámonos, you do whatever you got to do. Says cellular phones and communication systems. Drivers are prohibited from using personal cell phones and or company communications systems when driving or operating the controls of a vehicle. This includes Bluetooth or hands-free devices, meaning, whatever, text messaging, boom, 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 or onboard computers, which means these route sheets, these digital route sheets, right? If there's an incoming call, a driver must not answer while driving or operating the controls of a vehicle. Remember, this is back in like 2013. So we're going on, 11 years since this. I don't know what updates they're going to make, but it pretty much stands the same. At this yard, according to our contract bargaining agreement, there is no answering the phone if a supervisor calls you. Everything is supposed to be done through at least as of January of 2024 heading into February 2024. Everything is supposed to be handled with the Fuse system. All right. Cellular phones and communication systems continue. Helpers are prohibited from using personal cell phones and or company communication systems when operating the controls of a truck or while riding on the riding steps. This includes Bluetooth or hands-free devices, text messaging as well. Vehicle weight. Do not exceed the maximum legal weight for the vehicle being operated. If unsure of this weight limit, see a route manager. So I want to interject on this. Remember that our contract states that unless a device is placed on the truck where you clearly can see the weight of the truck, you cannot, I guess, be penalized for, you're not responsible. Let's just say you get a ticket for that. You're not going to be held responsible for that because there's no device on your truck. Now, however, if there is a device that's on the truck that shows you the weight of your truck, then you can, you can get in trouble with that. I just wanted to interject and say that about the vehicle weight. Backing. This is not to say that they can't notify you. Hey, look, here's a notification that you was overweight or whatever. But there's nothing really you can do unless there's a device on the truck that clearly shows you the weight of the truck as you're picking it up. Okay, so backing. Avoid backing whenever possible. Never back up without properly checking the area around the truck. Do the following when backing a truck. Scan the area for fixed objects upon arrival, i.e. cars, overhead hazards, etc. Anticipate the actions of people and other vehicles in and around the truck. Respond to changing conditions. Do not back around a corner or into an intersection unless there's no other option. So this is kind of important. I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to stop here, but I'm going to interject that sometimes backing straight ahead is a little bit safer than backing around the corner. I know a lot of scouts, they do a lot of backing, and a lot of incidents sometimes can happen when you're kind of backing around the corner rather than backing straight up. So if you do have to back around the corner, you're in a situation where you have to back around the corner, then it's, hey, that's just what it is. But in the event that if you don't have to, if you could back straight, I believe that's a safer situation than backing around a corner. So use the mirrors to scan the area frequently. Watch it for motion around all sides of the truck. Back and continue. Use the camera if installed on a truck. Also, another thing, I work solo. Sometimes I have to back onto like streets that are packed. The camera usually has an option where you can see the left side of the truck and you can see the right side of the truck. And it only happens when you put the truck in neutral before you back. But it helps you kind of get an idea. There might be pedestrians or something on both sides, and it kind of gives you it kind of helps you back. It's almost like a helper almost. I don't know if you have it at your yard, but if possible, I would suggest using that camera before reversing, because sometimes it helps you catch things that you wouldn't initially see because you're so focused on just what's behind the truck. You forget about the sides. You forget about oncoming bicyclists or oncoming pedestrians, and that could probably prevent you from getting in a situation where it's all bad, like a fatality or something like that. Lord forbid. Where do we stop? We stopped on backing. Use the camera if it's installed on the truck. Do not fixate on one mirror. Driver should alternatively check both mirrors. Don't forget the sides and the front of the truck. Remember the size and location of the blind spots for the truck. Never use a cell phone and or company communication system while backing. Stop, get out, and check it out. If uncertain about the clearance or uncertain that the area is still clear. If you don't know, don't go. So if you don't feel safe, just don't back. Two-person backing. A driver must use only a trained helper to assist with backing. If there's no trained helper and driver uses another individual to assist, the driver must conduct a safety briefing with this individual before proceeding. The driver needs to discuss the roles and responsibilities in signaling process if person drops out of sight, which side to stand, and spacing. Very important to give a safety briefing to Your helper, if you do have a helper with you, two-person backing, do not put the transmission in reverse until the helper is in position and visible. Okay, stop truck movement if driver loses sight of helper. The driver must maintain eye contact with the driver. The helper must maintain a minimum of 30 feet, 9 meters spacing from truck if they have to walk backwards or side to side. Helper must not stand on the riding step when the truck is backing. Helper must not stand in the truck's path of travel. Helper must not walk directly behind the truck when the backup lights or backup alarm are on. Helper must be aware of potential traffic hazards. Then we have the proper hand signals, which are the helper must use a standard hand signal when assisting a driver in backing. The driver must discuss hand communications with all helpers prior to the start of the route. See safety practices section for proper hand signals. All right. I think I should stop there. All right, so yeah, it's plenty of rules. It's a whole thing filled with rules. So we're going to stop. We're going to stop. We probably got like I'm trying to see how many more rules we got. Man, we have so many rules, man. Yeah, we got so much more to go. It's a lot. But we have to go over this so that way there's a clear understanding of kind of what, the general rules are, because a lot of times I get asked questions about stuff, and I like I've said in a video where we was going over the general safety rules, right? I was like, man, I don't know everything that's a general rule. So, but general rules are a category where you could get disciplined, and it's a whole book talking about these rules. But man, I'm trying, y'all. I need y'all's participation. So when you watch these videos, share with somebody. Let somebody know. Don't wait till the last second. Let me go up. Hey, right here. Don't wait till the last second where something happens and then you need some help. Don't wait until that moment. Learn the stuff now so that way you don't get in a situation where it's like, hey man, what do I do? See, if you already know the rules, you already know the game, I can help you then. But when it's a situation where you already broke the rules, then you come to me. It's like, hey man, you should have been following along. But it's all good. So next time we're gonna go. I remember we were going over this Witch Club, but the next video we're gonna continue on. We're gonna continue till we get through the general rules. I'm waiting on the union book to kind of continue on what I was doing with the union language. Right now it's kind of, I'm waiting on it. But that's about it, guys. I'm out.